Genesis 5, the descendants of Adam. This is the written account of the descendants of Adam. When God created human beings, He made them to be like Himself. He created them male and female, and He blessed them and called them human. When Adam was 130 years old, he became the father of a son who was just like him in his very image. He named his son Seth. After the birth of Seth, Adam lived another 800 years, and he had another sons and daughters. Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. When Seth was 105 years old, he became the father of Enoch. After the birth of Enoch, Seth lived another 807 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Seth lived 912 years, and then he died. When Enoch was 990 years old, he became the father of Canaan. After the birth of Canaan, Enoch lived another 815 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Enoch lived 905 years, and then he died. When Canaan was 70 years old, he became the father of Mahalalel. After the birth of Mahalalel, Canaan lived another 840 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Canaan lived 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel was 65 years old, he became the father of Jared. After the birth of Jared, Mahalalel lived another 830 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Mahalalel lived 895 years, and then he died. When Jared was 162 years old, he became the father of Enoch. After the birth of Enoch, Jared lived another 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Jared lived 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch was 65 years old, he became the father of Methuselah. After the birth of Methuselah, Enoch lived close fellowship with God for another 300 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Enoch lived 365 years, walking in close fellowship with God. Then one day he disappeared because God took him. When Methuselah was 187 years old, he became the father of Lamech. After the birth of Lamech, Methuselah lived another 782 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Methuselah lived 969 years, and then he died. When Lamech was 182 years old, he became the father of a son. Lamech named his son Noah, for he said, "May he bring us relief from our work and the painful labor of farming this ground that the Lord has cursed." After the birth of Noah, Lamech lived another 595 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Lamech lived 777 years, and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, so that is Genesis chapter 5. I think Genesis chapter 5 is talking about Adam's descendants. And there's some interesting things during those descendants. The first one is Enoch. Enoch is the first person is walking with God with fresh body because the Bible didn't talking about the detail. So Enoch is very blessing person and he lived in this earth on the ground is 365 years. So this is also a very special number since right now we know our years. 1 year have a 365 day. And actually, the it's not we define the years, is how many days. It's because we found the years is from the earth is going around the sun, and also we have a day which is 24 hours. One day is 24 hours, right? That means our earth also have a self spin, which is the self spin with the relationship with the spin around the sun have a relationship with 365, and that's how we defined the 365 day for 1 year. And Enoch just exactly lived 365 years. So this is might give we some hint. The second sense is Noah, because Noah have a special name. This is a special name from his father, and also we know later during the Lord's time there's something happened, which is the great flood. So that will be a very interesting story. And there's a third interesting things, which is you guys might be noticed that every person from the first man is lived almost thousands years. But Noah's father only lived 777 years. So it's kind of like the life at the beginning, human beings have a very long life. It's really blessing from God, which means even God cursed Adam and Eve because they didn't follow the commandment. But still, God really blessing them. Especially compare right now, we have a very shorter lifespan. So everybody should be grateful for God, what God gave us. Okay, so that is chapter 5. I hope everybody like it. Thank you for your watching. See you next time.